Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let make it easy. I hope you all are good and doing perfectly fine. So in this video, we're going to learn about the chapter French Revolution of class 9. So let's begin. You all must have watched the movie Chennai Express. In the very start of the movie, they showed us a fight, and after that fight, they went to the flashback and tell us the reason why the fight has begun. So the chapter also starts like this only. At the very start of the chapter, they told us that the people, that the people of France has shown up on streets. Now there was something that was happened on the day 14th July 1789. Now what happened at that day? Now the people of the France were on street. Now अब लोग सड़कों पे हैं तो कोई ना कोई रीजन तो होगा ही ना. Maybe there might be something, कुछ बुरा हो रहा है उनके साथ, इसलिए लोग सड़कों पे उतर के आते हैं. तो similarly something was happening to the people. They had showed up on the street and the news is being spread that the king has ordered his troops to march on the street of France. Now this has created an anger and a panic among the crowd of the people of France. Now, in that panic, in that anger, they have attacked the prison of Bastille. They have attacked the prison of Bastille in a hope to get some arms, to get some weapons to fight against the military. Now, I'll be bilingual in this video because it's very important that you understand the chapter till the roots. So, क्या हुआ था, एक इवेंट से शुरू होती है स्टोरी कि 14 जुलाई 1789 को जो लोग हैं फ्रांस के वो सड़कों पे उतर के आते हैं. सड़कों पे उतर के आए हैं तो कुछ ना कुछ तो रीजंस रहे होंगे जो लोगों को सड़क पे उतरने पे मजबूर हो गए. हुआ क्या था कि एक लोग सड़कों पे आए, एक न्यूज भी स्प्रेड कर दी गई कि अब पता नहीं सच है या झूठ है, पर एक न्यूज जो थी वो स्प्रेड हो गई कि जो राजा है उसने अपनी मिलिट्री को आदेश दे दिया है कि तुम सड़कों पे जाओ. मे बी लोगों में ऐसा फैला कि अब जो है मिलिट्री आ रही है सड़कों पे, तो अब दे विल ट्राई टू सप्रेस अस, वो हमें दबाने की कोशिश करेंगे. नाउ द पीपल वर एंग्री and this has created a panic because the people do not have arms, they do not have the weapons to fight against the army. So in the hope to get the weapons, to get arms, they have attacked the prison of Bastille. So this at the very start of the story, they have told us that this had happened on the day 14th July 1789. Now, why this all had happened, why the people were on the street of France, we will be learning this in this chapter. See, this is a scene where the people were on the street of France and they are attacking the prison of Bastille. What are we going to learn in this chapter? The society, French society during 18th century, the struggle to survive, how sustenance crisis happened, how the crisis occurred, the growing middle class and the end to privileges, the out of revolution, how France became a constitutional monarchy, the abolishment of monarchy and the beginning of republic, the region of terror, the dictatorship rules in France. See, half of the chapter we will be covering in a form of a story, and the rest topics like women have a revolution, abolition of state slavery, revolution in everyday life. This all will be studied. We will read this topic as the themes. So the story begins with an event that the people has broken the walls of the prison of Bastille. Now, why the people has come on the street? Why they have revolt? The first reason is the struggle to survive. When our basic needs are not met, then it is known as sustenance crisis. When your daily needs are not being met, जब आपकी basic मीन्स जो है सरवाइव करने की वो भी पूरी नहीं हो पाती, तो जो क्राइसिस क्रिएट होता है उसको बोलते हैं सब्सटेनेंस क्राइसिस. This type of situation, this type of crisis were being faced by the people of France. Now, what are the reasons behind this crisis? What was happening is that the population of France was being increased, but the production did not keep the pace with the population. The population is being increased, but but the production is not being increased. जब population बढ़ेगी तो खाने की demand बढ़ेगी. खाने की demand बढ़ रही है तो आपको production भी बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. But the production was not being increased. Now let us understand this with an example. Suppose in a house of 20 people, you have only 5 chapatis to eat, right? Now what will happen? लोग तो 20 हैं. Chapatis to 5 hai. Now, what is happening? A situation of crisis is being occurred. A crisis ho jayega. The same was happening at that time in France. The population is increased. There was a rapid demand of the food grains, but the production was not able to keep the pace with the demand. This led to the subsistence crisis. Now, what will happen? Let's say, what will happen when there will be when there will be a decline in production? Now, understand this in this way. If I say in the house of 20, you have only one chapati, and I say that the one who will be paying rupees 1,000 for this chapati will get this. Now, what will happen? You all will be, there will be a fight for the food grains, right? किसी को मिलेगी, किसी को नहीं मिल पाएगी, तो a situation will be created. So this was same happening at that time. The price of the bread, which was a staple diet of the majority, rose rapidly, right? The price जो था food grains का, जो bread थी, जो staple diet थी लोगों की, the price was being increased. The price बढ़ रहे थे. The same happens in today's world as well. When there's a shortage of petrol, the price of the petrol is being increased. जो चीजें कम होती हैं उसकी price बढ़ जाती है. So the same was happening. The price of the bread was increased. Now the price is being increased, but the wages, the income, the salary of the people was not increased. It was the same. So this led to what? This led to the increase in the gap between the poor and the rich. The gap between the poor and the rich was being divided. अब already subsistence crisis चल रहे थे. वो बोलते हैं ना, गरीबी में आटा गीला, वो वाली बात हो जाती थी कभी कभार. Already there was a decline in production. Sometimes what happens, the situations of drought and hail is being practiced. कभी कभार सूखा पड़ गया, कभी कभार बारिश तो हुई, फसलें उगी तो अच्छी, पर साथ में क्या हुआ, बर्फ के गोले भी पड़ गए. Now this will let, अब क्या होगा, हार्वेस्ट जो होगी वो खराब हो जाएगी. This further reduce the harvest. The production is further being declined. Now this led to a huge crisis, right? The basic needs of the people were not being met. अब खाने को ही नहीं मिल रहा है लोगों को. This is the major reason why the people has showed up on the street of France. Now, all this led to what? All this led to subsistence crisis. Now, let's move further. Now, try to understand this only with a flow chart. There was a bad harvest. Due to bad harvest, what will happen? There will be scarcity of grains. जब फसल ही खराब होगी तो scarcity तो होगी, कमी तो आएगी, the food of grains, right? And next was happening was the rise of the food increases. The prices of the food grains were increased. Secondly, what happens? Then after that, what will happen? The poorest can no longer buy the food, right? Now, when the poor will not be able to buy the bread, there will be two outcomes only. Number one is weaker bodies. The people will become weak day by day. And secondly, there will be food wars. There will be fighting for food. Now, when the people will get weak, this will lead to disease epidemics. Now, बीमारियां बढ़ जाएंगी. This what जब बीमारी बढ़ेगी तो क्या होगा? There will be an increase in the number of deaths. And because of this, there was a bad harvest. Because of the bad harvest, there was a scarcity of grains. Then because of the scarcity of the grains, the price of the food grains was being increased. Now the people, the poorer, are getting poorer. They are no longer able to buy the bread. Now this will lead to two things. Number one is weaker bodies and the food droughts. Because of these, what will happen? There will be disease, epidemics. ना क्या होगा? बीमारियां फैलनी शुरू हो जाएंगी, लोग बीमार होने शुरू हो जाएंगे, and this will eventually lead in the increase in the number of deaths. क्या होगा? लोग मरने ज़्यादा शुरू हो जाएंगे. So this is all for today. So today we have learned that how the story of French Revolution began. The story begins with a flashback. And the first reason, the major reason why the people of France has showed up on the street of France. That's all for today. Thank you so much. And in the further videos, we will be learning this chapter. We'll be continuing the story. I hope you all have understood the concept. If there is any doubt, you can comment below. And for sure, I will be clearing it out. Thank you so much.